Hello friends! Future Editing Vinnie here. I wanted to add in a little explanation as to why I'm starting at some point in the middle of this Archon Quest, and to hopefully catch you up to speed a little bit. I somehow misplaced quite a bit of footage from this Archon Quest. It's been long enough now that I don't know what happened exactly, but the same thing happened with Goro's Hangout event. I'm bummed out about it, because I had a hilarious moment in the story domain that I really wish I was able to keep. However, on a positive note, I did learn from my mistakes, and I took measures to stop this from happening again. I'll do my best to give a quick synopsis of the parts I lost. Ningguang is holding a contest of sorts in order to get the people of Liyue Harbor to supply her rebuilding of the Jade Chamber. Shortly after the explanation, we meet Shenhe, who appears similar to and acts similar to an Adeptus. Apparently, Shenhe has come to Liyue Harbor to help rebuild the Jade Chamber, and offers to join the Traveler in collecting Ningguang's requested items. Later, we find Xingqiu in the hopes that he can help us get some Sunset Vermilionite. While he can't help us directly, he tells us of an Adeptus named Sea Gazer, who had an abode very likely containing some Sunset Vermilionite. Shenhe helps us get into the abode in question by dispelling some kind of magic. With a little exploring, we find a mountain-sized piece of this Sunset Vermilionite. The Traveler and Paimon have no clue how to actually transport the giant, heavy, boulder, but Shenhe proves herself strong enough to simply carry it back to the Jade Chamber site. Wow! The onlookers there understandably believe that Shenhe is an Adeptus, but she, clearly isn't fond of being called an Adeptus. Ningguang's secretary Baiwen lets us know that we can use some nearby lodging, and Paimon insists that Shenhe makes use of the hotel with us. At some point, the Traveler and Paimon see Cloud Retainer watching from a distance, and of course we can't miss an opportunity to talk with Cloud Retainer. Cloud Retainer informs us that Shenhe is in fact not an Adeptus, and that she is in fact a human. Moreover, Cloud Retainer is actually Shenhe's master, and has been taking care of her, and she comes across as almost like a mother to Shenhe. Cloud Retainer then says some vague things about an upcoming calamity. That should place us right at the point I'm about to show you in a few seconds here. Thank you for bearing with me, and I hope you enjoy. Alrighty. Now, I'm very curious indeed what exactly Cloud Retainer was referring to by a coming storm. Starting to sound like some foreshadowing.
Hey! So, Shenhe...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it?
Receptive, sure.
Oh? How did you know?
Jeez, that camera angle.
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you, so I went outside to check and caught sight of my master. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me.
Maybe.
After all, master is... very talkative.
Sorry, Shenhe. Paimon had you down as an Adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an Adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. Instead, you treated me as you would a friend. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real Adepti, too.
So at this point, it's almost no big deal.
Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an Adeptus or a human isn't the important thing. First and foremost, we're just plain old friends.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title friend very much indeed.
Look at Paimon going right out with the friend title.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list.
Oh, we're gonna get all 3.
But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the progress is going. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly. Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's
That's
one
pretty
for you,
convenient.
Shenhe. Try it. They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Look! Look! The Jade Chamber is floating into the sky! But it seems to be tied down by something.
They made the Jade Chamber that fast?
That's because it's not finished.
Oh. Well, it sure looks finished.
Hey, Bywin! And hey, Beidou! And hey, person Paimon doesn't know?
How rude do you get? Person Paimon doesn't know. Really?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks.
How did they do that in one night?
The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
That's fine and all, but how'd you do the actual construction?
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Beidou? You're joining the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of Sunset Vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yun Jin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine. And this is... sorry, not sure we've met.
Shenhe. I am there. Friend.
Yes, friend.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew.
Hey, I kinda like that saying.
Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
Convenient enough.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed.
Wow, I really do like the design of Yun Jin.
To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plastrite required. Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side.
Okay, I thought this stuff was really rare. How come everybody's got a piece?
Wow. So it looks like the three of us are competitors now.
Yeah, I
Excuse
guess so.
me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help him win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us.
So you want to cooperate?
Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think?
Sounds great, but how does that change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yun. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon.
I'm starting to think they just want to take the credit for that enormous piece of plostrite we found.
How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
I'm only finally getting the chance to see, but what is going on with her eyes? What are those colors and the ring around her? Alright.
Okay then. Alright, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of him. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Okay. Sounds good. Let's go.
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's go!
Okay.
By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang, Yun Jin?
Wouldn't that be a really personal question to ask?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion.
Oh, okay, so not that person.
Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an Adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Alright, I guess we'll just leave it at that. Noticing that one's not on the map. Alright, what do you got for us? That's why. So, what's the... That's why it's not showing on the minimap. It's because I had to do another quest first. Okay. Okay, I guess that's next on the agenda. Well, that only cuts the pace by a little bit. Time to see what this is about. Was that the... Nice, that's what I need to do. Okay. Well, I'll come back to that another time. I want to continue with the Archon Quest. I wasn't expected to be stopped in my tracks. I always prefer doing stuff like this in the daytime. Makes it feel more fitting, because I'm sure the poor guy's not going to be working at night exactly, right? Even though gameplay-wise, he's always there day or night.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
My name is Yun Jin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past, for stage use.
Wow, I like this character's voice too.
Yun Jin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yun. Sorry, my brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yun, even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. Like myself. So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber.
How very, very convenient.
The types of ore needed to make Wonder Cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
What kind of were we talking about?
No? We were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Asking the question I wanted to ask.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium.
Yep, okay. I don't know what those are.
If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions.
Is that Qiqi in the background there? What is she doing over there? Just hanging out by those statues. Okay. Is this Spot the Hidden Character Day?
It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. It's all but unheard of on the market.
Then where do we start?
I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff.
Magic trick?
Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the Divine Damsel of Devastation also takes place on that mountain.
Curious indeed.
I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
Yeah, it is Qiqi right there. Okay. What's she doing out here?
Oh, it's you.
Qiqi, what are you doing here?
Seaside. Dangerous. Qiqi is helping with the evacuation.
Evacuation?
Yes, Ningguang said there's something bad in the sea.
Is this related to Ningguang's order of all those bandage dressings?
So, she sent Qiqi to evacuate everyone. But no one will listen to Qiqi.
Oh.
So instead, Qiqi is guarding this place. If danger comes, Qiqi will protect everyone. Don't go near the sea. It's too dangerous.
Oh boy. Okay, so there is something happening while we're doing our little fetch quest. But the sea looks fine, at least right now. Okay. Remember there, I thought it was the same quest I just did. Oh, so that's why. It's because it's using pretty much the same location, or at least nearly. That's why it wouldn't let me do the Archon Quest. Okay.
I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise.
Yeah, the area around here is definitely beautiful. I've taken plenty of screenshots myself.
No wonder the legend of the Divine Damsel of Devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool. A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite!
You have tons of favorites.
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work! Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor.
At the very least, I'm seeing that this so-called opera is about Shenhe here.
Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
I'm gonna pick the look at Shenhe option.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the Divine Damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal story.
If you say so.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah!
Right back on track. The heck is that sound? Wow. It's probably this stuff. What the heck is happening on the vision? Okay, I guess that's what they meant by it resonates with visions. Fair enough. Oh, well, I don't need it to show up with the vision to see that it was right over here. This one's in plain sight.
This should be enough Star Splinter Iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
Oh, hello.
I saw a village on our way here. Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
It's very rare for me to see a spot I haven't already collected. Some geo sigils, yes please. Wait a minute. We're gonna meet somebody over here? I thought these houses were abandoned. I'm still hearing the sound. Wait, there's more? Are we supposed to collect extra? Okay. I'm just surprised to see there's people that actually live here. Unless this person doesn't live here.
Yun Jin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
I don't have a good feeling about this one. Yeah, okay.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here. Shenhe,
Well, that's not a good sign.
let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
Uncle?
It's...
Shenhe.
Shenhe. You're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years? I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think you can find some information in the village. And this place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhe?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around.
Diffusing a sorry situation.
Don't worry. Mingjun has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay, then let's see
If
what
you
we
say
can
so.
find in this village.
I was wondering why the guy was just pointing and moaning and groaning. Thought he was taken over by some kind of
I
spirit.
came back here once before, a few years ago. Alone. I hid it from Master at the time. It was deserted then, too. Except for a few low-life bandits. Everyone and everything I remembered was long gone. But as people were passing by, they stopped to admire me. They praised me, telling me I gave off the aura of an Adeptus. I tried explaining to them that I wasn't an Adeptus, just an ordinary person who came from this village. But no one believed me. When I saw how run down all these houses were, I felt at a loss. It was like I took a look at the world, and on the surface, it looked like a vast realm with so many places I could go. Then I looked a little closer, and there was nowhere for me to go at all.
Suddenly, so much time has gone by. Everything has changed.
Last time I visited, I felt so upset. But today, I don't know why, but it feels different.
It is easy for your mind to run wild when you are alone. But this time, you are with your friends, aren't you?
Yes, my friends.
So needless to say, this is where she's from. I spotted this treasure chest during that.
Better than nothing.
Thought I had other treasure chests around here, but maybe not.
What's this?
The doctor said you are gravely ill. Don't worry, I will give everything I have to save you. My heart bleeds whenever I see you getting weary or your illness beyond treatment. Now I wish I could suffer the pain for you. You said you had no regrets in this life and that you only wished for me to take good care of Shenhe. But you regret nothing. Why the tears? I don't know what I've been doing lately, though I still breathe. I feel like an empty shell. I have read all the ancient texts I get my hand on, looking for ways to save you, but it is utterly futile. I finally found it. It was Mingjun. He had kept the book that could save you hidden. I took it and followed its instructions to summon a god and offer a sacrifice. The god appeared. I told him that I was willing to exchange my life for yours. He kept silent and only pointed at our daughter, Shenhe. The god said her fate was to bear the curse of calamity and that she was born to bring harm to those close to her. The god also said that she might have even been the cause of your death. In that case, I thought I should. I left her in the cave that the god mentioned. 3 days have passed, and still, no news. I grow restless from waiting, seized by an ominous feeling. I am sorry, my love. Forgive me. You too, Shenhe. Please, forgive me. How stupid I was. How blind. Let me apologize to both of you. In person. A record from Shenhe's past. Okay. Maybe this is the true story of the Divine Damsel of Devastation.
So, Shenhe is the Divine Damsel?
You're picking up on it.
Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an Adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the Divine Damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
The truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it. It looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his beloved opera.
Maybe, but Shenhe did seem to like the new version. Records of a changing village.
So it seems that Shenhe's father thought he was summoning a benevolent deity using a magic incantation. But in fact, he summoned an evil god's remains, which took the form of a monster.
A branch family of exorcists used to live in the east of the village, but in around 2 weeks the mother died of disease. The young daughter went missing, and shortly after the father hanged himself on a tree in the yard of his own house. It has been confirmed that traces of an evil god's remains were found in the village. The villagers are panicking, as no one is certain whether the evil god's remains are gone for good. Do be careful when you are in this area.
His obsessive yearning for his deceased wife led to a terrible tragedy. The villagers moved away in fear, without ever learning the truth. And now, this place is deserted. Still, I do wonder what the connection is between Shenhe and Mingjin.
Yeah, so now what's this guy's story?
We've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Subrosium. Let's have a look over there.
Shenhe did say uncle, but I'm not sure if it's uncle like just respect uncle, or uncle is an actual family uncle.
This is it!
Mountainous miscellany, magic engraved on Symbrosium, does not wear off easily. Some believe the stone to be a bridge between the living and the dead. However, finding Symbrosium is no easy matter. You need to be at the right place, at the right time. Legend has it that you may find Symbrosium if you stand in the middle of the lake, south of Mount Tianheng, at dusk, and look in the direction of the setting sun. Wow, okay, yeah, that's pretty specific.
So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng at dusk, and we'll find us some Symbrosium!
Thank you for being the summary.
Let's go back and tell Shenhe the news!
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired Adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up to him. I just let things happen, let it all escalate. Well, we all know how that story ended.
Oh boy.
I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way.
Wow, okay, that's quite a take.
There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing at all.
Whew! Nothing at all. I don't even know where to begin to understand that.
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end.
Quite a bit of info, it seems.
Shenhe, look! This tells us how to find Symbrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake!
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the Divine Damsel of Devastation are not true to the facts. So I'd like to change them.
Are you sure?
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience in favor of my father's fiction.
That just strikes me as funny. The main character right here. Okay.
It's okay. I like your version. My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera.
Ah.
But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
Don't worry. I believe you will. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for yourself yet.
Shenhe! Yun Jin! Cut the chit-chat! Let's go!
It sounded like some needed chit-chat, though.
Can't let someone else beat us to it!
Ugh. Like anybody else is gonna get this stuff. Oh, I see Xiao over there. What you doing over here?
What brings you here? Have they found a solution to the danger in the sea?
Yeah, exactly. What danger in the sea?
Ningguang didn't tell you.
What aren't they telling us?
Something has happened in Guyan Stone Forest. According to the contract, as an Adeptus, I should not get involved for now.
For now.
But these things can be unpredictable. I have a contingency plan of my own.
Xiao, what do you...
Only a single mountain lies between here and Liyue Harbor. If things get out of control, I will defend this place myself.
Okay. Needless to say, there's definitely something going on behind the scenes here.
That's everything we need! Let's head back and report in!
Did...
Paimon's
That was it?
curious if Beidou's made any progress.
Just walking up and picking up the ore. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
So, are they okay?
This is some top-quality ore you found. I think I'll get a good end product out of these.
I sure hope so. I went through some good trouble to find it.
Yes, now it's my time to shine.
At least it didn't sound like it at first, but now that I'm talking to him now, this guy sounds like Solid Snake.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and says it'd take a lot of research for him to get up to speed.
Leave the Wonder Cores to me. I'll work on them while you go about your business.
Yeah, we've already got it covered.
Don't worry. It won't take me too long.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next, but where should we find items relating to the Adepti?
I'll sort that out.
Okay, cool.
Oh? You got this then?
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. I know a thing or two about making sigils. When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber, not the contest. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber, so she sent me to deliver some Adepti sigils to her.
So that's the whole purpose Shenhe was here, specifically for the Adepti sigils. Okay. Boy, this gets so convenient.
Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed from the world for too long. There's so much basic knowledge that I lack. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all. But either way, I'm very glad to have met you. And I'll take care of those Adepti sigils.
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't say whether you should stay or not. But now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find me on my ship. There'll be a drink waiting for you.
Thank you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use your facilities to make the sigils.
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work. Maybe I'll learn something.
She's just a glorified courier. Yeah, it's sounding just like that, exactly. Sign here for your package, thanks! Exactly, you've got that exactly right. Although I guess in this case, she got a little more than she bargained for here.
Whew. The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects inferior to my master's, I can assure you there will be no quality issues.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
All at once, oh yeah.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets there ahead of us.
Ooh, legendary quality. Quest items. Wonder Core. Core component to the Jade Chamber's mechanisms. When combined with the Adepti sigils, they can be used as a control center of the Jade Chamber. Adepti sigil. Adepti sigils made by Shenhe. They contain dense adeptal energy. Alright. Hey, editing Vinny back again. This is the other bit that I misplaced footage for. Let me catch you up to speed. The gang turns in their Wonder Core and Adepti Sigils. Of course, we're the winners of the contest. On top of the Jade Chamber, Ningguang makes good on her promised reward. Everyone gets to ask Ningguang one question that she will answer truthfully to the best of her ability. By the way, Ningguang already knows what everyone will ask, except for maybe Shenhe. She's good. Yun Jin asks where would be the best place to perform her upcoming opera, The Divine Damsel of Devastation. Her answer is that she should perform it at the Jade Chamber itself. The Traveler wants to ask about his sister, but Ningguang has no leads. Instead, Paimon gets to ask her question about how to make money. Ningguang explains that she could give a real answer, but she isn't sure that it would work out for Paimon in particular. Instead, Ningguang gives a standing offer for employment, should either the Traveler or Paimon have need of more in the future. Shenhe's question though, do you think I can ever fit in Liyue Harbor? Ningguang explains that Liyue Harbor is in fact perfectly inclusive, so long as one follows the rules. The more important aspect might be if that she could develop a sense of belonging, and that Shenhe would need to find a reason to feel that belonging. I'm sorry for interrupting, and now back to the fun! Yeah, I have a feeling I see where this is going.
In short, everyone needs a reason to stay. I hope you can find yours soon.
At the least right now, it seems like her one reason for sticking around has been the Traveler. Is that gonna be the answer?
I see.
Hey, what's going on? I just went to see the fleet. I'm a little later than expected.
Come on, Beidou! It's your turn! Do you have a question for Ningguang?
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to help out, so I figured I may as well get involved with the contest.
Oh, forced you to help, okay.
Ningguang, don't forget what we talked about. It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
Is this that thing that we're not being told about?
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millelith have set up an ambush.
I guess so.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
What exactly is happening?
Beidou? Ningguang? What are you talking about?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. Maybe it's better that you don't know.
What could it be?
When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked down upon Liyue Harbor far below. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen in all 7 nations of Teyvat. My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built the Jade Chamber anew at this time. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prosperity and peace of the human world. And I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence!
Okay. Oh, fancy. Right away. Nice. Well, this sure seems like a familiar sight.
The Avenger of the Vortex, Beidou.
Who is that?
Osial's wife. Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Osial's wife?
Like you knew this was coming!
Beidou sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Okay.
Well, let's go fetch the Adepti!
No. In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone!
That's very respectable. I see you've upgraded your defenses, Ningguang. Wow. It's a full-on assault from all sides. Alright, where does it go wrong?
All hands! Tsunami incoming!
Yeah, right there.
What's that? Wait! A giant wave!
You can say that again. Yeah, what were you gonna do about that exactly?
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
Wow, okay. You go, Shenhe.
What are you doing here?
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk!
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared, and she is already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
Can't help but notice it has so little health. But wow, I do like this arena. I love this look of it being underneath the waves. Wow, that is awesome. Oh, more health bars. Okay, not what I expected.
Unleash! Crush!
Getting vacuumed. More vacuum. Okay, I see the deal here. Okay, can hit him while they're right there. Good. A little chaotic, but all right.
Obey!
Okie dokie. Just dive across the whole stage, why don't you? Wow.
Crush!
I definitely like the look of this boss. Got a really awesome glowing effect going on with them. Jeez, okay, that's a powerful vacuum. I'm used to using vacuums as a player, but not as the monster's using them. Oh, just had to reach. Okay. I lost my chance. Alright, enough admiring. Time to kill him. Or her, I should say. The wife of Osial. Would not have thought of... Well, I was about to say monster. A god like that would have a wife, but understandable. Everybody's gotta find love after all. Wow, what a set piece, though. I hope this gets reused for something later. Or if we get to fight this boss multiple times or something. Yes, please. I love the waves in the background. That looks so cool. Alright, what else you got? Orbital bombardment, I see how it is.
Do your master's bidding! Beg for mercy!
She's getting away! Shouldn't we go after her?
This place is unstable. It is too risky to continue pursuing her. If the place
Unstable,
collapsed, the consequences would be disastrous. Let's head back.
I didn't realize it first, but we're actually completely underwater from the looks of it? Okay, yeah, that's awesome. You okay?
I'm just a little exhausted. Otherwise, fine. I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
But then does that mean she'll be a threat later on?
How did things go underwater?
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you visit the Jade Chamber in the future, you will be afforded generous treatment.
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyan Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Thank you. How are the Millilith?
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal. Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help.
I guess so, freezing a giant tsunami.
On behalf of the entire Millilith, thank you for your service.
Shenhe protected us, just like the hero in the story.
Great. Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I'll be able to take the compliments.
That's a good way to look at it.
I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to protect you.
So it is about the Traveler, okay.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down. If she returns with a vengeance, we must be prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been for Shenhe.
Okay, I suppose not.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been a little more arduous. If it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
You just built the Jade Chamber. I mean, sure, it only took a day, but I'm sure you had a competition to gather materials for a reason.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong Ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit that you have evidenced some degree of novel thinking.
Oh, a compliment from Cloud Retainer, now that's rare.
You have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. This is considerable progress compared to the last time. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough. But there will no doubt be further trials to come in the future. Do not suppose that one will not continue observing you hereafter.
Ah, so that's what this is about.
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure Liyue's safety.
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago, and noticed the air of dejection in which you returned. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor has been a different experience.
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
Because of the Traveler. I see how it is.
Good. Traveler, please take good care of Shenhe. She is a dear child.
Okay.
In fact, one has many fond memories of Shenhe's childhood that she may be interested to hear about.
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are all like this.
I assume all is also referring to Ganyu here.
Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you. One shall be going homeward now.
For once, Cloud Retainer actually sounds upset.
Please. Have a good rest. Come to the Jade Chamber when you have recovered your energy. We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis. This banquet must be the most spectacular ever.
Okay. That crisis didn't last very long, but at least it was a big show. So if there's a banquet in order, hell yeah. So these are at least a modification of the Guizhong Ballistae, eh? Oh, there's Keqing.
The Millilith's casualties are within the range we expected, but in hindsight, there were still flaws with our plan.
Casualties within the range we expected, so I take that to mean there were indeed deaths. Alright. So it's not all hunky-dory, I see.
If we'd had more time, we could have built a barrier here to absorb the impact of the waves.
Ah, the tsunami. Yeah, that makes sense.
We must learn from this experience and never repeat the same mistakes again. We were fortunate to have your assistance this time.
Ugh. Heading back. There's an icon for the Jade Chamber. Teleport. I get to teleport to the... I get to just teleport right to the Jade Chamber. Okay, that is very convenient. The heck is this?
Everyone's already seated!
Well, at least it looks like the stage for the opera set. Does that mean we get to see the opera? They also converted it to night conveniently, so I have a feeling that's what's coming up next.
It's Paimon's first time attending a banquet in the Jade Chamber. The food here looks amazing.
Have you seen the food yet? There's none on the table right now.
All of you here are my distinguished guests. I am determined that each of you thoroughly enjoys yourself. Those who don't drink alcohol, please, help yourself to other beverages. Fine wine is a delight to the senses, but it is far from the only one. I trust you will find the marvelous view from the Jade Chamber to be an equally gratifying indulgence.
That feels like it was designated for the traveler.
Have you heard? Miss Yun's going to be performing today.
Okay, well that confirms that.
Sure have. Honestly, it's the main reason I'm here. I've never missed any of Miss Yun's performances, and I don't intend to start now. I hear she's going to perform the Divine Damsel of Devastation today, the one written by her father. I've been so excited that I've barely slept the last few nights.
Hey, look! Miss Yun is going on stage!
Is it the big moment? Ooh, that has to be weird for Shenhe.
披冠到这里本该接近尾声，但今日我再添一笔，唱与诸位听。彼时鹤归，茫茫天地无依靠，孤身离去。今日再会，新朋旧友坐满堂，共聚此时。
What did you think? Personally, I thought I sang rather well.
Wow. Almost brought a tear to the eye. That was very beautiful. At the least. I'm very unfamiliar with the culture involved here, but I can definitely say I found that to be beautiful indeed. It helped to have a very nice visual to go alongside it, but I'm gonna call it a song in question, that sounded wonderful. And it was very appreciated that there were some subtitles, or at least English translation for me. Wow. I wasn't expecting it to be that involved. Goodness.
It was beautiful. Paimon wants to learn too.
It was wonderful. Also, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks to you, the Divine Damsel of Devastation is a more nuanced tale than ever. The play has an ending, but life goes on. I believe you will find a way to fit in Liyue Harbor.
Thank you. I think I've found the opportunity I needed to change.
Ms. Yun, here you are. Great to see you.
Of course.
Huh? Hey, this young lady with the white hair looks like some kind of VIP. Yeah, that's it, like an Adeptus. Wait, you're the girl from the opera, aren't you? The Divine Damsel herself. And look who else we have here, the illustrious traveler. Well, I'll be. This was definitely worth showing up for.
Alright, buddy.
Let me pull up a chair, all right. We'll all have a friendly chat, get better acquainted.
Really?
Alternatively, you could leave us alone. That is, if you'd prefer to finish your drink via the orifice of your own choice.
Whoa, okay. I see how it is.
Uh-oh, this feels all too familiar. Shenhe's back to her old self again.
Scary choice of words there. It seems she still has a long way to go.
Hey, what are you doing?
Calm down, Shenhe. Calm down.
Let's see what they've got to say.
To act, one must first feel. After our trip to Mount Tianheng together, I felt much more in touch with the character today. I believe I was able to deliver a more profound performance because of it.
That makes sense.
Next time I have a new opera, may we study the character together again.
It sounds a little funny, but alright.
Now that I think about it, I'm glad Master sent me here to deliver the sigils. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the chance to meet you.
I'm sensing a common thread here.
I'm sure I have much to learn from you in the future.
Oh, that's not the key I wanted. Oops.
You've made an exceptional contribution toward the building of the new Jade Chamber. I will not forget this. I shall be sure to repay your kindness at an appropriate juncture.
Well, just as long as you find my poor sister, then we'll be pals.
I wonder when I'll be able to build a Jade Chamber of my own. It'll take a lot more wealth than I have now.
That's putting it mildly.
But hey, you've got to dream big. Who knows? If I keep working at it, maybe one day.
If you have limitless drive, sure.
Drinking and watching opera in the Jade Chamber. A rare and exquisite pleasure.
Okay, that just reminded me. So the performance is up here at the Jade Chamber. I don't see that many people in the audience. Was that truly to Yun Jin's satisfaction here? Was this really the best place to do the opera? Okay. Very nice stage indeed, though. Alright, Drunky, what do you gotta say?
More wine! More wine!
Alright, yeah, that fits the bill. Fair enough. It's probably only fitting to take a nice screenshot on there, huh? Sure. Perfect. Sometimes you don't perform for others, you do it for yourself. Hey, true enough, but I didn't get that impression here. I would have thought if she was asking for the best possible venue to perform her opera at, it would mean it so that people could see it. But that's understandable. Maybe she just wanted a really fancy place to perform the opera. Oh. Hear it, and not just see it. Oh. That is true. That just reminded me, Ningguang said something to that effect, that it would be the best place for people to hear it from. That sounds like a bit of a stretch, but okay, I can go with that.